So hey you guys, taking my morning walk out here, got the sun on my backside, looking shiny and glimmery. But your man, Carl Anthony for president, the average man with the master plan here, to give my rebuttal to the State of the Union address. So as you may or may not know, just last night, our President Joe Biden, or I call him Unky Joe, gave his State of the Union address expressing his goals for the next term. And I can be very honest, I actually liked about 60 to 70% of what Joe had to say. He didn't nail it perfectly in that 60 to 70%, but he got pretty close. Because I'm going to tell you, he mentioned literally about 5 or 6 of my plans. I do have an infrastructure project. I am focused on getting things more green. I am focused on corporate taxes, but way higher than that weak little small percentage garbage he was talking about. And I'm up with taxing the rich and making sure healthcare is taken care of for all Americans. So these things me and him are on the same page for. He also mentioned his support for my military boys and also the housing needed because most of them have health issues and housing issues that need to be resolved. These are actually my ideas. I think he's been reading my stuff, or somebody who works for him has, and he gave him some of my ideas. It was like, yeah, we can do some of this guy's stuff and look good. But anyway, I'll let it slide. You can cold jack me, baby. I'm here for America. Now, out of the things that he mentioned, I'm going to tell you why half of them will not occur, and it is in relation to several things he said that he wanted to do and will not do in the process, and some things he didn't make clear on. One of his first things that he wanted to be active about was dealing with assault weapons. He wants to ban assault weapons. And I tell people over and over again, you don't have to fix guns, you need to fix America. You return the promise of American jobs to American men and women. You don't got to worry about those assault weapons. Secondarily, I am a Second Amendment man. The purpose of the Second Amendment is not so you can shoot at other Americans. It's not so you can shoot and defend your home, even though that's the general concept. You know what the Second Amendment is for? It's so a really big government can't just come and take you over using the cops, and you actually have weapons to fight back with. That is the purpose. If they take your assault weapons, then at any time, the police, the army, the military can decide to just run you off. And what are you going to be doing? Shooting at them with little pea shooters? So no, banning of assault weapons is absurd. It's their excuse not to fix the country and the economy they have destroyed, and the promise that they have taken from American men of all races and colors and American women by proxy. And that's why they want to ban it. And that's why I am against the banning of assault weapons, completely out of charge. It's almost in the realm of being a Nazi to a certain extent. Don't do it, won't support it, won't have it. So that's one thing that I had a problem with Joe. Another issue that I had with what he said, he talked about police reform, but he had no specific plans. What did I tell you in my first video? They got feelings, they got emotions, they'll get the mom and dad standing up there, but he has no actual plans. He had no solutions, no reform suggestions, nothing. All he said was give cops more money, train them better, and and make them accountable. Yeah, I've heard that for the last 50 years. No, I'm not falling for that. Matter of fact, the last 100 years, I've heard that. Not gonna work. Weak excuse. So he's not doing anything about the police brutality issue, and he wants to disarm you by taking away all your assault weapons. So if the cops do get a little frisky, there's nothing you can do about it, because you'll be standing there with a pea shooter 22 in your hand. So that's what that's about. Third, did you hear how weak the international policy discussion was? He basically just said, oh, we hate Putin and it's cool. And what he really told you was, we're going to keep sending billions of dollars to other countries to fight their battles while you starve. That's what he told you about defending America and defending us away from home. He ain't changing nothing. What he told you was, I'm not going to cut the military budget. I'm going to add to it, and I'm going to keep spending money with other countries while you starve. So that's what he told you. So that's issue number 3. The last thing he didn't mention, which I don't feel is a first term reality, and it will be the same for me as president. I won't be able to do this first term, but it is second term for me. Reparations for African Americans. No discussion on reparations from a guy who has always been supported by African Americans, praises his so-called African American VP. We actually know she's an East Indian. She's not African American. And all the people that support him, yet not one discussion about reparations or anything for African Americans specifically. You should be infuriated as an African American Democrat when you hear this thought. Not cut back on military, not doing anything for African Americans, wants to take all assault weapons, and has a weak international policy. Now, you heard some of his mentions about the corporate tax raises and the Medicare changes and things like that he wants to do, right? Well, let me tell you why. Half of that will not happen. Because when it comes time for Congress to vote on raising the taxes on corporations and raising the taxes on the rich and doing these infrastructure projects that I want us to do, which will make jobs, he doesn't have any money for it. So what he's telling you is, I'm gonna make all these plans, then I'm gonna raise the debt limit again in another couple years because I didn't counteract my plans with money to come away. Now, when I'm president, we're gonna cut back on all non-UN certified wars, cut back on all of our international spending, cut back on our military spending, which he meant nothing of. You know, 60% of our budget goes to military spending. We can get that down to about 40 and use a lot of that money for us. These are the things that would actually have to occur for half of the plans you heard last night to be achieved. So yes, you did great, Joe. You did a fine job, but you got a lot of stuff to do because we love our guns. You're not getting rid of our assault weapons. We're going to get on this international policy. And even though you said you're going to do something about the trade war, I don't believe you. You guys like the money a little too much. And I also believe you're not ready. And I am. So once again, guys, that is my rebut to the State of the Union address. And once again, Carl Anthony for president, the average man with the master plan. Better get with me. I'm a bad guy. Peace. One love.